hey, dude, I need to borrow some money. And he goes, so how much, Kasey? 8 million. And then he goes, okay, so when do you need it by? Tomorrow. I need it tomorrow. So I need 8 million the next day. Just REIN. I'm not into like social media.
Right.
Because seriously, I started my Instagram like, dude, this is hard.
Yeah.
I was like, you probably see me. I was like, this guy doesn't update his Facebook ever.
Yeah.
And I got my friends, my high school friend, go, I what is it, unfriend you or something? I was like, I got unfriended from my high school friend because I didn't update my Facebook. I was like, gee, okay. I was like, okay, maybe I should. But yeah, I don't really go to meetups. I go to REIN and whatnot.
And so you've just built some deep relationships there, and that's kind of you talk to similar people.
My investors are usually, I have to say, they're the older crowd. Like I'm 43 now. So
Are these banking friends or?
No, they're actually seriously. They're friends from my kids' school to
nice.
people that I meet.
Just people in life you meet.
People in
Try to
life.
talk about what you do.
Yeah, my butcher.
Awesome.
Where I buy my
That's really cool.
organic meat. Yeah, it's like you meet so many different people. Like I met like I went to buy a McDonald's one time. This is when I sold some of my properties before my student housing. I didn't know what to do with it, right? So I was actually sitting on some cash for my Elgin property. But I didn't want to put the money in, so I was looking for investors, right? But I guess the story is this: is that you meet anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And these, like a McDonald's, somebody's behind McDonald's that owns it.
Yeah.
Behind a Tim Hortons.
And they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Like at that time, you needed unencumbered money.
No franchise fee.
No, you need unencumbered money, 300,000. When I was looking at it, now it's 800. Okay, but you're looking for business owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Operators that have some money. They understand business need. You actually need some money to invest in real estate, right? Because they're very active in their own business, but they want something passive, right?
Yeah.
Most of my investors are not they're not professionals. They're actually not professionals. So they're not doctors. They're not lawyers. They're not engineers because they like the 9 to 5. Right? They like trading time for money. It depends. So a lot of my investors are actually business owners.
Interesting,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So I know, seriously, I have some business and like some investors that I'm thinking that they have quite a bit of money, like 100 to 200 million.
Nice.
I had to borrow. I looked at your video. Something about 800,000.
Yeah, it was like 450,000 we had to get. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my story behind my building Worley Village, 89 Rideout, I needed $8 million.
Oh, Jesus.
$8 million. I said, hey, dude, I need to borrow some money. And he goes, so how much, Kasey? 8 million. And then he goes, okay, so when do you need it by? Tomorrow. I need it tomorrow. So I need 8 million the next day for 89 Rideout. So you can see my sign. It has my little Kokoli there or whatever.
Yeah, I'll pay attention now because I'm pretty sure I know the building.
You know the building. It was built by Tricar.
Yeah.
So I needed $8 million, but it cost me a pretty penny. It cost me $289,000
Yeah.
in interest. So I just burned $300K in literally a day. Well, the bank didn't fund me, so that. When you deal with like commercial multifamily, you better have some deep pockets, or you better know people with big bucks. Yeah. So $8 million in a day. That was crazy. I don't suggest that. Yeah. And I said, yeah, that's so you're put everything in perspective. Now, when I saw your video, I'm like, hey, dude, I did that. Just a little, like just add another zero. Like I thought it was 800, but it's let's say 450. It's still whatever your situation is to you. That is something that you have to overcome, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to be able to network and know these people that have the deeper pockets, right? And these are the people that I actually met. They were actually investors as well. So I met when I was looking at properties. He was another buyer, right? He comes in with a group. I come in with myself and my wife, whatever, right? But I was looking at properties. So I like to talk to people, hey, what do you do? What company or whatever? And that's how we sort of, it just evolved. Take him out for dinner or for lunch or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, and then after that lunch and dinner, well, actually it was a lunch, right? It's like, okay, here's $8 million, right? But it was 300, I had to pay $300K.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
I'll tell you some more stories.
My game.
I have like a whole bunch of stories. I have like from that 8 million to like grow ops, to floods, to fires, to.
Oh my God.
So I'll tell you a whole, like, to people like threatening me, my other friends, guns in the stove. What? Yeah. And these are high-end condos. It doesn't happen in this, right?
Yeah.
So it could happen in this.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like in just high-end condos that I used to manage, I've dealt with guns, gangs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I basically get on the phone. I usually have 3 good plumbers. I say, hey, dude, you're going to be on one of my preferred lists. I'm going to call you, right? So the tenants come to me directly, and I still do inspections. So what's the property manager for anyways, right? Mm-hmm. And then I deal with the contractors because I have to make sure that they do the renovations before I pay them, right? I still have to see it. I don't want the property manager to see it because I don't know if they have, if they're working together.
Relationship.
And I don't want that, right? So that's why, do I need a property manager? I'm at almost 200 units. I don't need a property manager. I'll need a property manager until I get to, let's say, 700, right? 800. But right now, this is still, it's scalable, it's manageable.
Like, do you have a long-term, like, I know you kind of said you don't have a long-term goal, but like, do you have a goal, like, I don't want to do any hands-on stuff at this age, or?
But I drove my kids around, right? My kids are 11, 9, 7, and then 2. Okay. 11, 9, 7, and 2. I drove around doing exactly what I'm doing right now, collecting whatever this, and they said, Daddy, you don't do anything. You just drive around and drink coffee all day. Like, well, dude, it's like I want to say, hey, dude, I do a lot more. But seriously, that's all they see.
Yeah.
Right? So when what your question is that, what's your sort of,
like, is there a point where you're like, hey, at 55 or 65, like, I never want to have to go pick up laundry, or like, do you enjoy, like, is this?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, this is easy. Like, you just take a look at the building. I can get my super, Margaret, upstairs, clean this all up. Because I couldn't see it on my phone, right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. That's easy.
Yeah.
Right? That's super easy.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to your attitude, right? Because like, I notice it so much that some landlords will almost have identical experiences, but their takeaways are so different, like, right? Like, they'd be like, oh my God, the superintendent again didn't clean it, rather than just be like, oh, it's just a quick message to let her know. Yeah.
Like, I'll take a picture of it and send it to her, right? Say, hey, Margaret, go clean it, right?
Yeah.
In a nice way, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, all you have to do is that. It's not hard, right?
Yeah.
Property management, if you have it's just, this is my building, right? Like, any kind of business, you're gonna have problems. Like, I was gonna buy a McDonald's one time. You can have problems with that. Like your whatever, your 5 o'clock shift worker who's a student doesn't show up, and you're flipping burgers. You don't want to do that, but you know what? That's part of the nature of the business, right?
Yeah.
This is not hard.
Yeah.
This part is not hard. Going to I have a hearing for my Duke and Wellington. I just go there, go to mediation, try to work it out with them. If it doesn't work out, go right to the sheriff, right? So I have all this documentation.
Yeah.
Right? That might be the hardest for some people. I found that hard at the beginning. This part of the business is easy, right? Contractors, renovations, things like that, that's easy, right? So that's why I'm thinking, like, a lot of people can do it themselves, not hard.
Yeah, I think that's great for people to hear, because so many people get scared by it, right?
Put it this way, I had 48 properties or 48 units. I was still working full time, right? I was working at, that time I was working at CIBC Asset Management. 48 units, going on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Making sure I did it, right? It's not hard. And you honestly, you guys are young, right? I'm 43 now, right? I can't do that with the kids. But you guys are super. You're 25.
I'm 24. Yeah.
You're 24. You're 33. It's still fair. Like, in this game, you guys are young.
Yeah.
You guys are young, and that's great, because you know what? People who are starting out at 50, they may have a bigger nest egg, they may have a good down payment, but the thing is that they better not make that mistake. They
right? They can,
They make a mistake and they sort of trip and fall in one building. They don't have the time to weather that, right? You guys do. You're 24 years old, like, you have 20 years, right? 25 years. You don't need 25 years to pay off a property. You basically, after 10 years, you refi, you push that payment back out, you get that cash flow back up, right? Like, for me, it's more cash flow, right? I need the cash flow. But that's what you guys are looking for, right? Because the end game, your appreciation is nice and whatnot, but I don't really see it. I still have to put bread on the table, right? Every month you put bread on the table, right? So that's what you guys are basically going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've essentially, I know a lot of the people we talk to, we really do write off appreciation.
Yeah.
It's like not even, it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Yeah.
And the same thing we actually do too with like debt pay down. We don't look at that.
Yeah.
Like we write, I know at least when I'm looking at any property, it's like the mortgage payment is completely a write-off.
Yeah.
That is all
That's right.
an expense.
That's right.
And then you happen to make,
Exactly.
50% of that or whatever
That's
your,
right.
your interest rate is. You end up making that money, but that you can't count on that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I personally get freaked out by people that chase real estate super actively. So people that are, they're constantly flipping or doing those strategies where you really are hoping that there's a market for your product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Versus this, like, tell me there's not a family that needs somewhere to live.
That's right.
There is.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's a fact.
Very, very stable market.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong, this goes opposite to your real estate cycle.
Yeah.
So something goes wrong with the real estate, like housing market,
Yeah.
people are going to rent. So they're not building 1960s, 70s purpose-built apartment buildings anymore, right? So this is a very good market to be in.
Yeah.
Multifamily is very, very stable. And those jump in, like people will move back into this, right? It's affordable, right? And as long as you screen the tenants properly, once you do, like I have a screening process that I do, but that's your key, your product, and then your clients, right? Make sure that you pick your right clients and deal with them properly as well, because you have to make sure that number one is that they pay. You pick the right clients, and if they don't pay, you have that certain recourse that you can go after them, right?
Yeah.
I don't even go after credit checks because that's past, right? That's history. Once they give you all the information, right?
Yeah.
I feel a little bit more comfortable.
For sure.
Right?
I think another great point that you touched on, and this is something we do see with a lot of experienced investors in our network, is that you mentioned at your first building that there is less of a market for these large multifamilies.
Yeah.
But I think the people who are actually informed see that as an advantage, because someone like myself, like I'm already committed to the idea that a vendor take-back's possible because I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm committed to the idea that cashbacks are possible because I know a bunch of people that have done it.
Yeah.
And I think that people who stay informed and continue to network strong can make these connections with some of the older guys in the business that are holding on to these large multifamilies.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sell it, and they understand the position you're coming from.
That's right.
And the really cool thing about the commercial and multifamily market is we've removed most of the emotion.
Yeah.
So you can come in, you can look at that, that water issue on building 2.
Yeah.
And you can just say, without emotion,
Yeah.
empirically there's a problem here that I need to fix.
That's right.
So now I need to negotiate with you on that fact.
That's
and
right.
often they're willing to, what's it going to cost me? Sure, I'll cash back.
Yeah.
And really leveraging those tools to your advantage, but
Yeah.
also creating a win-win for everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody loses in a VTB if it's done properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody loses in a cashback if it's
Yeah.
done properly.
You just have to ask.
You literally just have to
ask.
ask.
Yeah.
But most people kind of hear these things, and I know we get a lot of feedback like, oh, it's not possible, or that's not possible for me. Well,
Okay.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
No, like if you just ask and you're informed about
Yeah.
the process, like
That's right.
it's really easy, and it's great to see someone like yourself who's using these tools very strategically in almost every deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
VTBs, it doesn't happen often, but if it does,
It's
it's
not
nice.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can be.
Yeah, it can be, for
Like,
sure.
It can be certainly a repeatable process,
For sure,
right? Because
yeah.
we know people that have done several of them.
Yeah.
Like even for me to do my first deals at VTB
Yeah.
like that, it's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah.
And like I got a 13-year vendor take back at 3%.
Oh my goodness. Are you
For
serious?
96% of the property value.
Wow.
So I put 4% down, and I'm locked in 3% for 13 years.
Oh
But
my
like
goodness.
that's guaranteed impossible.
Yes, yes.
If you don't believe that it's possible.
Okay.
Like 100%. If you don't
That's
commit
amazing.
to the idea.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but a guy like myself can come in and do something
Yeah.
like that with, not necessarily a whole lot of money or even credit or employment, and still make these deals happen and really get a good start. So,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great.
You can ask for the moon. You start
Right,
there, right?
right.
So it's like, just give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't know what's gonna happen,
Yep.
right? Anything in between is good.
But it is really great when someone like yourself shares with us, right?
Yeah.
Because it's really awesome to see you out here doing it, and you're walking us through real tangible things that we can see, and then also reinforcing the idea that these deals are possible.
Yeah.
You didn't have the means when you were asking for $400,000 to
That's
go
right.
in on that first property, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it would not have happened if you didn't probably know that was possible.
Yeah.
Network and get your way there. So
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah,
problem.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this was amazing. I definitely want to do some more sometime if you're down.
Yeah. You guys didn't see the two better ones. They're actually stabilized.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we'll
next
plan
time.
like next time. Yeah.
Next time it's basically Cambridge, so that's Preston, and then it's Galt, right?
Yeah.
So those are two already. So this you've seen student housing, you've seen this. This is in the process, and then the other ones are I can show you basically sort of numbers and then what I do inside.
Yeah.
Right, and then just don't over renovate. And the cost structure in regards to that. So the 2-year payback period and whatnot. Now it's probably going to about 2.5, depending on that gut job. Like depends, right? So just don't over renovate. Like you guys are fine. What you guys are doing. But a lot of bigger boys, like your Cap Rates out there, your Homestead, your Starlight, Skyline. About those 2 other buildings are from Skyline.
Are there?
Yeah, so they're actually from Guelph, right? Do you guys know that?
They're a mega company, yeah.
Yeah, no,
like
but
I was
they-
noticing Ballmer signs all around too. I was kind of talking to Matt about it.
Skyline started in Guelph, and they don't know me, but I sort of know the history behind like Skyline, right? They started in student housing, and then they started upgrading. Bang, bang, yeah. So they, you know what? They started whatever. They started 10 years before I did. So it's probably like 35 years into this now. So they're into, I don't know how many.
That's cool.
Yeah, 10 or 20,000 units, right? So that's the same way. It's a value add. Don't over renovate. Don't put too much money into these buildings because you have to get that payback period as low as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
it.
Thank
Cool.
you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Really appreciate you taking
Yeah,
this
yeah.
again.
But let me know. Like you guys ask me the questions, and I'll try to sort of you know.
No, this was non-stop gold.
Yeah.
Concerned, like my fans are gonna freak out. Yeah, they're gonna love it.
Okay.